What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got some new Digimon to talk about. We're going to be focusing on Baihumon today. However, there are a couple of other black Digimon that have gone and been revealed. Also, how good is the art on that Baihumon? That is one of the best artworks we've seen in the game so far, and that's saying a lot because we have seen some ridiculous artwork in this game so far. But we have a couple of other black Digimon that have been revealed that we've not got to yet, so we might as well have a quick chat about them. Translations here from the lovely folks over at Ensan Gaming and the lovely folks over at DigimonCard.dev. So starting off then, we've got Tupiymon. Level 3, free cost to play normally, 0 cost to Digivolve, 2000 power. It can Digivolve from either black or red, which is clearly a very good thing. Means that you open up your options a lot more, which is lovely. And we've got an inheritable skill on all turns, yours and your opponent's. If this Digimon has 2 or more colours, gain 1000 power. Cool. And I did show you the other day the Monochromon. It's a blocker, but when you attack, you lose free memory. But that's a dual colour black and red Digimon. So clearly that's the kind of place we want to be going here, which is kind of cool. And I did show you the other day that Biyomon. That's the one that's got security attack +1 and reboot, and it's got Greymon in its name. And if you've got a black Digivolution card, you need Digivolve 1 when you Digivolve. And if you've got a red Digimon card, you Blitz when you Digivolve. It kind of does everything, alright? But that is also a dual colour black and red Digimon. So clearly, this is the level 3 that goes into that run, into that evolution chain. Now, there is a very fair question to be asked here of why the level 3 is being revealed so much after the level 6. We could have talked about them all together. I don't know, but it was, and now we get to chat. We've also had a look at the level 5, which is Megadramon here. 8 cost to play normally, 4 cost to Digivolve, 8000 power. That is expensive, incidentally. 4 cost to Digivolve is harsh. 3 is what we expect. And it is a proper dual colour black and red. It is both black and red and can Digivolve from both black and red. But when you Digivolve, you get to delete one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers with a play cost of 3 or less. It's Tamer hate. And don't get me wrong, right? You can get a Digimon here. The thing is, a Digimon with a play cost of 3 or less isn't that exciting. It's not great. But a Tamer with a play cost of 3 or less, and let's be perfectly clear here, right? I am not saying that it is always going to get everyone, all right? It's not, okay? Let's be clear. It is not going to get them all. It is going to get some of them. There are some 4 cost out there. You're not going to get those. But you're getting a lot. And we don't see a lot of Tamer hate. So when it comes to Tamer hate, it's one of those beggars can't be choosers situations. Sure, you'd rather be able to get 4 cost or below. That would be the ideal. But it's not an option, so, I don't know, get over it. It's a really nice Digivolution skill. Plus an inheritable skill here when you are attacking, when this Digimon has Machine or Dragonkin in its traits, and that's something that, you know, these Digimon tend to have, delete one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamer with a play cost of 3 or less. So it's the same thing. It's the same skill as your evolution skill, but now you get to do it when you're attacking constantly. And it only works if you've got Dragonkin in your type and all of that, or Machine. Fine, don't really care. Traits. I don't care. Because you should, right? If you're playing this kind of card, you should be working towards that. But now all of a sudden you're able to do this constantly. I really like Megadramon. It's only for some decks, it's not going to work for all of them, and that's absolutely fair. But in the decks where it does work, this is big, ladies and gentlemen. This is kind of big. And if we're talking about these dual colour Digimon, we might as well have a little bit of a chat about Maki Himekawa as well. This is a free cost Tamer, and when you play, you reveal 3 cards on the top of your deck, add a Tupiymon and a 2-coloured card with black among them to your hand. So basically gets you a Tupiymon and another. Couldn't get you a second Tupiymon here, because remember, although it can Digivolve from black or red, it is just a mono black Digimon. But if you're playing that dual colour black and red Digimon, this is a great play skill. Also on your turn, when your Digimon Digivolves into a Digimon, lots of digi-words coming on here, that has 2 or more colours, including black, you may suspend this tamer to reduce the memory cost of the Digivolution by 1. Tamers are generally gaining you memory or reducing cost at some point. That's here. But when you play, you get to search out a Tupiymon and a second one. Okay, only from the top 3 cards, but still, that's alright. It's better than now. And then you're constantly reducing the evolution cost by 1 as well. I like it, ladies and gentlemen. I absolutely like it. If you want to be playing that dual colour black and red stuff, these are some really, really good cards to be adding in here. And certainly if you're going for a Biyomon deck, these cards I've just mentioned in this video so far, they are going to help you massively. But the big new reveal today, as in on the day I record this, is Baihumon. I love this. 13 cost to play normally, 5 cost to Digivolve, 13,000 power. All of that's big. 11 free 11 is generally what we expect. 13 5 13 is absolutely huge. Is it worth it? I think so. Because when you Digivolve, you unsuspend a total of 2 Digimon and or Tamers, and then for every unsuspended Digimon and Tamer your opponent has in play, you gain 1 memory. So hopefully here, you're not paying 5 cost to Digivolve, you're paying a whole bunch less, which is brilliant. But it also puts your opponent in a super awkward situation, because if they've got unsuspended Digimon/Tamers, then you're going to be gaining a bunch of memory when you Digivolve. Also, because it is gain memory, not reduce the cost of evolution, okay, it's not going to be easy, but there is a chance here you actually end up Digivolving and gaining memory overall. If they've got like 6 unsuspended Digimon and Tamers, you will Digivolve up and have 1 more memory than when you started, which is a bit nuts. But it's going to mean your opponent wants to suspend their Digimon and Tamers to hurt you. The problem is, if they've got suspended Digimon, you can attack them. And we all know that one of the best ways to protect one of your Digimon before you're ready to use it, when you're trying to Digivolve up or whatever, one of the best ways to protect your Digimon is just leave it unsuspended. Sure, there are plenty of Digimon out there that can attack unsuspended Digimon. I had a game in the finals over the weekend against Ikakumon. Let's just say it didn't go as well as I might have hoped. Incidentally, I could only play 2 rounds because I lost my babysitter to COVID. To be clear, they're fine. They just caught COVID and I, couldn't have them around with COVID and all of that. The point is, one of the 2 rounds I was able to play, I came across that Ikakumon, the one from EX1. Oh man, that card's super annoying. Boo, hiss, etc. My point is, generally speaking, unless there's annoying stuff like Kakumon running around, you are not able to attack unsuspended Digimon, so you leave them unsuspended to protect them. But now, if you leave your Digimon unsuspended, you're allowing the Baihumon player to gain memory, and if you leave them suspended, you're leaving them open for attack. You're giving your opponent no good choice to make there, which is clearly brilliant. And you're unsuspending Digimon and or Tamers when you Digivolve, and we all know how good unsuspending is at this stage, right? We all know it's a huge, fantastic, wonderful thing that gives you extra attacks or extra activations of abilities on Tamers. It's just wonderful. This is going to be good. This is going to be very, very good. The only real downside I'm seeing of this one is that it's very expensive to Digivolve up in the first place, except if your opponent's got a bunch of unsuspended Digimon and Tamers, brilliant. You can gain memory, and if they suspend all their Digimon, you can go and attack them. So you know what? This works for me, ladies and gentlemen. This absolutely works for me. Then, at the end of your turn, once per turn, for every 2 of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon and Tamers, trash the top card of your opponent's security. So this is what we just talked about, right? But, taken to a whole nother level. This isn't just, oh man, if I leave my Digimon unsuspended, then I am letting my opponent have extra memory when they Digivolve. This is, if I leave my Digimon unsuspended, I'm losing the game. We all know that some players like to play the game. In Rookie Rush, I've seen this happen on more than one occasion, where they don't attack, and they just try and do the whole thing in one go. So they'll set up their board and then have one turn where they do all of your security and win the game. one of the advantages to that, of course, is that you don't give your opponent chance to recover and all of that. Brilliant. Problem is, if I'm laying out 5 or 6 unsuspended Digimon, then let's say there's 6 unsuspended Digimon. When I Digivolve up, I'm gaining 6 memory, which is ridiculous. And then at the end of my turn, I look and I go, right, well, you've got 6 unsuspended Digimon. Divided by 2 is 3. I'm trashing 3 of your security cards. So this is beyond the evolution skill here. This isn't, well, you want to keep your Digimon suspended. You have to keep your Digimon suspended. You have to suspend your Digimon. You can have one. You can have one Digimon unsuspended, because that way, you know, the Baihumon player is gaining 1 memory and they're not trashing any security, because, you know, if there's 0 or 1 Digimon unsuspended, then you're not trashing any security. Nothing happens until you hit 2. But after that, you've kind of got to, which is forcing you to attack when you don't want to. Forcing you to attack with Digimon that you know are just going to get blocked and deleted, but if you don't, you're going to lose a security card. Forcing you to attack with Digimon, leaving them to be open to being deleted by being attacked, when you really don't want to, but knowing that if you don't, you're going to lose a security card. And that's what's so nuts about this. That's why this is the focus of a video. If your opponent leaves their Digimon unsuspended, you are wrecking. And if they leave them suspended, you can attack them and take them out even when they don't want you to. And we do need to go back to the wording here, and both Ensan Gaming and Donnie Laksamana over in the comments have given the same translation here, and that is, when you Digivolve, unsuspend a total of 2 Digimon and or Tamers. It doesn't say yours. What that means is you can actually unsuspend your opponents to gain memory and to trash security. And it doesn't really hurt you if you unsuspend your opponent's Digimon or Tamers, because remember, at the start of their turn, they're going to unsuspend anyway. So, well, 99.9% of the time, there are exceptions. So it doesn't really matter. So you can unsuspend theirs and then trash top card of their security, and that's going to be hilarious as well. This is one of the most exciting cards I've seen for a long time. I think this is absolutely redonkulous, over the top nuts, and I am fully in love with this. It's crazy good. Oh yeah, there's an option card there as well. A 2-cost option card until the end of your opponent's next turn, and it does the same thing as a security card. All of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 7 or less cannot attack players. They can incidentally still attack other Digimon. And players cannot increase the number of cards in their security with your opponent's card effects. So basically, any deck relying on small Digimon, and that could be early game, or it could be just a Rookie Rush deck or whatever, trying to use small, low-level Digimon. And any deck that is trying to use recovery, and we know Yellow deck love to use recovery, yeah, they're basically shut out. It is a 2-cost option card, that isn't much. And it stops 7-cost or below attacking, and it stops recovery? That is nuts. I don't think it's quite Ice Wall good, but I also don't think it's a million miles away. This strikes me as the kind of card that we're going to be calling for restriction or ban list. I genuinely think it's that good. The fact that you can shut down low-cost Digimon decks, the fact that you can shut down security decks, the ones that are aiming to increase their security, the fact that it's so gosh darn cheap, the fact that if you pull it in the early game, you can basically just stop your opponent doing anything for the first couple of turns, it really is a little bit over the top ridiculous. Look out for this card, it is nuts. Both of these are nuts. We had a fun little chat about some dual color black and red Digimon at the start, and that was cool, but make no mistake about it, these are the ones that I think are going to absolutely wreck face. This is my kind of deck. I could absolutely see myself playing this deck, but I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.